Hey, what's up? Good morning. I want to talk about the stress levels. Stress. Yesterday, I had a conversation with a security um, receptionist. You know, the ones that just sit at the desk with the black suit on, and that's it. I'm taking my vitamins here. I want to talk about stress, right? And I had a conversation with him yesterday. We were specifically talking about bodybuilding, and I asked him. So I'm gonna um, connect the dots here. So I asked him, I said, have you ever noticed that in bodybuilding, there's always like this odd couple looking thing? Like I've noticed it for years, even when I was probably like 9, 10 years old. There's an odd couple, looking thing going on. And he said, yeah, I have noticed that, right? So this video is about rest and digest. Rest and digest. So I asked about that because I've noticed it too, and me, of course, competing for so long, or just being in that field for so long, bodybuilding specifically, because bodybuilders are specifically focused on building the most quality muscle as possible, the most definition, because each definition represents quality nutrition, quality and quantity. As a matter of fact, quality and quantity amount of nutrients that goes into the body to optimize the cellular metabolism so that the body can produce the muscle and rebuild the muscle while the person is asleep in the form of rest and digest. Because just because you go to sleep does not mean that you're actually going to actually build the muscle, because your nervous system has been compromised. And if your nervous system is compromised, that means your hormones have been compromised as well, which means that the master gland, which is the pituitary gland, has also been compromised, because the pituitary gland is the one that sends the messages for the neurological system and also the hormonal system, which is the endocrine system, right? So let me. So I asked him. I said. So he said, "Why is that? Why is that? There's this odd looking couple thing going on." Because I told him. I said because professional bodybuilders, the ones that really do this like all the way. I'm talking about like now. There are a lot of people who do this for real. Don't get it twisted, right? But I'm specifically talking about the number ones in the world. Like even if they place top five anywhere they go in the world, they're still going to be placed number one, right? Um, Stress. So I was explaining to him how I was in a situation, and how also, as I learned in the latter years, how stress from your partner inside your home can actually cause you to lose muscle. And I pause right there on purpose, right? Because that unnecessary stress is what causes people to lose muscle. Stress loves to eat muscle tissue like Pac-Man, just like that. Okay? And so those unnecessary stress levels that we are dealing with on a constant basis is what causes us to actually have hypertension, heart attacks, and strokes in the long run. Malnutrition, obesity, clinically obese, which means that you can look small, but the fat percentage is too high. Then we also have strokes, and then constant colds and different things and underlying issues because of the simple fact that you are stressed out by your partner. And that is a real thing. That is a real thing. And hypertension, I'm going to close up with this 4 minutes and 8 seconds. So, hypertension is very high in the black male community. And it's one of those, I'm going to put in that category if it is an autoimmune disease, which means that it's a silent killer. It's really not a silent killer. It's a silent killer because it's unspoken of, and because the people who are dying from it, the result of it, are African American black males. So why focus on us anyway? So we don't have to go to that topic. But I will tell you this: autoimmune diseases actually start from something that they call unknown. It could be community, it could be environment, it could be something mental, it could be something spiritual, energetic. It could be something physical, which means that there is no pinpoint direct factor that causes us to have hypertension. But let's put it in this perspective. Number one, working overtime. Working overtime. In the Supreme Wisdom Lessons given to us by the Nation of Islam, it speaks on how let's read this one. The uncle of Mr. W.D. Farad lives in the wilderness of North America and works 16 hours out of 24 every day for very little pay. He has a large family to support, and on top of that, a Satan came along and sold him life insurance and gave him a written guarantee that he will receive a full benefit at once on after approval of his death. Another Satan came along and sold him 500 B shares at 6% in the Panama Canal at $1.75 per share. And I'm not going to go into the further than that just yet. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back a little bit. Now I went backwards. Right? So the uncle of Mr. W.D. Farad lives in the wilderness of North America. He is working 16 hours out of 24 hours for a very little pay. He has 8 in his family to support, besides other little bills to meet each month. On top of that, a caveman came along and sold him an old touring car which travels downhill at the rate of 48 miles per hour. Okay? So I'm just looking at the hours. So these supreme wisdom lessons were stolen, and I don't want to say stolen. They were taken from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad's house when his house was raided. So society, the people in power, know this, and they're using it against us, which is why we are capped off at making a specific amount. Which is why the other ethnic groups are living more comfortably. So the system is to cap us, have us live in a specific way, place more stress on us by saying, yo, you have to work overtime for somebody else's benefit, but we are getting the lesser end. So we are stressed. We are not getting enough sleep. And with that being said, going back to the pituitary gland, the nervous system, and the hormonal system, which is why the imbalances are at its highest when it comes down to food and all the way up to our living, which is why we're catching heart attacks and strokes between the ages of 35 and 50. So, how to eat to live. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad speaks on living for a very long time. We all know what fasting, we know the benefits, we all know that, but no one has ever debunked this book ever. All of a sudden, today, everybody's talking about fasting. We have good marketing skills. People of other ethnic groups are talking about this and talking about that, but no one has ever brought back bringing back the credibility to how they eat to live. One meal a day. They call it OMAD, right? Which is cool. Or one meal every 2 days, or one meal every 3 days, right? And the point I'm getting to is that How to Eat to Live, he teaches the black man and woman in America to stay away from certain foods because it will shorten your life along with everything else. So if you can control your kitchen, if you can control your intake, all diseases will vanish. We won't have not one disease at all, because fasting will put you in a place and a state of mind and physiology that you won't even want the things that you normally like anyway, or like to delve into anyway, because your body will restrain itself from things that is harmful to it, right? So let's talk about I'm not even going to go into the pork part because that's perfectly fine. We all know about pork, but it's okay. Um, okay, meaning like we're not even supposed to touch it. But if you don't have your own farm, you don't even know what your food is made out of. And GMO is actually worse because you know why? Because you don't even know where that came from. So you don't even know, from the vegan, the vegetarian, even the people who eat everything. You don't even know if your food actually is real. And then now they're saying that we're eating people. I mean, this is a country where cannibalism has actually been at the forefront when they were eating the Native Americans, thinking that they was going to get power and strength from eating. What's that? I have the I wear this on purpose. It's the Native American where he was taking people out and they really wanted him down, and they only have his skull and bones. Skull and bones. I was told about that story. So skull and bones. So they actually ate him. Yeah, yeah. So they'll eat you too. Um, Meat is against life. So I'll stop here at 10 minutes, and I'll drop this. But But the person that's in your house is the one that's causing you stress and to lose muscle tissue. Peace.